Last night, I appeared with Greta Van Susteren on the Fox News channel. First question. Senator McCain is down a bit in almost every single poll. What does he have to do to change that?
I'm not comfortable with these questions. What does McCain have to do? Because everybody's telling Senator McCain what to do, and he's got a campaign staff doing this. But it seems to me that if people think the economy's bad and change equals a better economy, and if the people are associating the Republican Party with the rotten economy because Bush is the president and he's a Republican, then it's incumbent upon this campaign to convince as many people as possible that the economic crisis we're all experiencing now is directly the fault of the Democrat Party and their cronies. And the case can be made for that simply by saying if the Democrats could find a Republican on whom to blame this, they would have had that person up on Capitol Hill testifying for the past 2 months. They would have done their best to destroy that person. This was bought and paid for by the Democrat Party from Jimmy Carter forward to Bill Clinton. And it's Democrat cronies who covered up any investigation of what was going on in Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. He's got to say that.
Greta then said, what about the media treatment of Governor Palin? Fair or not?
This is what the Democrat Party has become. The Democrat Party is not interested in debate. The Democrat Party wants to destroy. They want to destroy the credibility of opponents. They want to shut them up. They want to make sure they have no way to speak, no opportunity to speak. And when they do speak, they want to make sure they have no credibility. I mean, this is as one-sided as I've ever seen a campaign, but it is what it is. What amazes me is that the Republican Party thinks that in order to get people to elect a Republican president, we need moderates, we need independents. We're then told that Senator McCain cannot go partisan. He cannot attack Democrats because that will offend independents. That will offend moderates because they don't like partisanship. Yet, the moderates and independents, if McCain goes partisan, are going to be so mad, they are going to run over to the most partisan, mean-spirited, extremist political party in our lifetimes. It doesn't make any sense. What they're doing to Sarah Palin is outrageous. The Democrat Party tried to destroy an average citizen, this Joe the plumber guy. They used official government computers in Ohio to track this guy down, find out who he is. I had a caller to my show last week said they didn't find anything substantive on Joe the plumber. That caught me up short. They didn't find anything substantive. Who the hell are they to be looking for anything on Joe the plumber? Joe the plumber can't raise anybody's taxes. He was minding his own business. Obama shows up asking people to ask him questions. Joe the plumber asks a question. Obama revealed who he really is, and so Joe the plumber has to be destroyed? And the American people sit around and don't notice this? I just refuse to believe it.
What do you most admire or like about Senator McCain?
Well, you have to admire his heroism, and you have to admire his stick-to-itiveness in times of trouble. And he's actually, he's taken his hits, too, from people he thought loved him. He thought the media was his base at one point, and they've turned on him, and he still remains the smiling warrior out there. As a human being, I have all kinds of admiration for Senator McCain, and I truly hope that his campaign pulls this out. It's crucial. He represents, as the nominee of the Republican Party, the stop sign to this advance toward a far-left socialism. That word's being bandied about, too, and I was thinking, I heard Dick Morris talking about it tonight, and I got to thinking, how many people even know what it is now who are under 50, and how many people even think it's a bad thing? Socialism is taught in the schools and colleges as a good thing, and it's fair, it's from each according to his means and so forth. But it's transfer of wealth. It takes from the achievers, it punishes them, it gives to people who are not achieving things. The Obama camp wants to fundamentally alter the way this country exists. They want to change the founding of this country, destroy the capitalist system. It is very, in my mind, extremely serious stuff.
She also asked me what I admired about Obama, and I said, well, he says nothing better than anybody I have ever heard say nothing. And he has mastered the art of charismatic demagoguery. I also went back, and in the next segment I said, I want to go back and I want to inform your audience, Greta, of something that I meant to say in the first question, what does McCain have to do? And I went on to explain the Democrat Party plan to change your 401k. Now, there are two aspects of this. George Miller, who runs a congressional committee, Democrat in California, came out with the first notion of just getting rid of your being able to deduct from your income your contribution to your 401k. That the government's losing $80 billion, and we can't afford to lose that, so they want to take that away. Then they had a hearing last week where a professor from the New School for Social Research, a professor of economics, Teresa Ghilarducci, She appeared and she said, I got a better plan. What we want to do, we want to take your 401k at its August level before the crash, give you that equivalent, and put it in your Social Security account, essentially. And we're going to invest that money that we take from your retirement account, or your 401k, at its August level, and we're going to buy government bonds with it, which will guarantee you 3%. And then we will require that you put 5% of your pay into your 401k, although it's not yours anymore. The government owns it. They will manage it. They will take care of it. And then when your retirement day comes, you'll get your Social Security check, and part of your check will be whatever your 401k monthly payout is after 3% of growth every year under the stewardship of the government. So I mentioned this on Greta's show. Yesterday in Seattle, Kirby Wilbur had this exchange with her. She said, your plan, as I understand it, would end the tax deferral status of 401ks. Would I have one? And I put in a certain amount every month, and that's deducted from my gross, so I don't pay taxes on it until I pull it out when I retire. And so it would end that, and it would bring about a new government retirement plan. Is that correct?
Not quite.
Okay.
Even though Rush Limbaugh said that's what it was.
Okay.
Whatever you have in your 401k now will keep its tax break. So everybody who has their 401k plan will be grandfathered in. But what I propose, instead of getting a tax deduction, like a decrease in your taxes by whatever your tax rate is. So if you're at the very high income, your tax rate's 39%, and if you're at the very low, you're at 15%. And 40 million people make so little they don't pay any taxes at all. Instead of the deduction coming from your tax rate, so if you're hot, whatever you put in your 401k, like $1, let's say, or $100, you get back 39 cents or $39 if you're at the high rate, $15 or 15 cents if you're at the low rate, or nothing if you're at the low rate. I propose that we just transfer the deduction to a credit so that everybody gets $600. So I'm not taking away the tax break. I'm actually giving everybody a flat amount so that it's more equal.
Where am I wrong about this? So what everybody's going to get, you talk about socialism, everybody's equal now. Whether you've got a 39% tax rate and you can deduct that amount, you get that equivalent deduction. This is all gobbledygook. Basically, I'm just going to give everybody $600 and you give me your IRA. And I'm going to buy government bonds with it at 3% a year. I'll just give you $600, and that's how we'll take care of this. So Kirby says, well, no, wait, there'd be a new plan where all of us who bring in a paycheck will put 5% of our income into the retirement plan administered by Social Security, but guided by the pension folks who do Congress and the Federal Reserve. And you're going to guarantee at least a 3% return. The government would supplement that with $600 annual payment to the plan.
The government would guarantee 3% plus inflation.
Okay, 3%. Okay, plus inflation. So the bonds would be adjusted. As I understand, the $600 would be adjusted as well, right?
It would. It would.
Okay.
And what's amazing about this is that it's actually doesn't cost the government anybody. I'm just rearranging the tax breaks that are available now for 401ks and spreading the wealth.
Spreading the wealth. Her proposal. Now, this is not Obama's yet. This is George Miller's idea. This is the Democrats in Congress. Why I say McCain's got to tie Obama to these people, but Obama will go for this. She's taking your 401k and giving you $600 a year and 3% interest, and the Social Security Administration administers it, and you can put 5% a year into it.